I don't know why they're all. There's the picture that they had on it. Yep. Alright. So, just a reminder that your formative has been moved back, or I shouldn't say moved back. We've added a formative on the Wednesday of next week, and then that'll double as a review day also, and then your test has been pushed back a day to the Thursday next week. Okay? If you're going to be gone next week Thursday, I strongly recommend you take that test early. Yep. Or before you leave, I should say. Okay. So with that being said, and the blank screen, there we go. With that being said, here's Z sub 1 and Z sub 2. I would like you to find me Z sub 1 times Z sub 2 quantity squared in just trig form. Good formula. Alrighty. So, Z sub 1 in terms of trig function would be 4, right? Because that's 8 plus 8 is 4. Yep. 4 cosine I sine of 315 degrees. Do we agree with that? Yeah. Okay. Z sub 2 in terms of trig form would be 6 cosine I sine of negative reference angle is 60, 240 degrees. Agree with that? Yeah, okay. So Z sub 1 times Z sub 2 would be 4 times 6 cosine I sine of 315 plus 240 degrees. So that's going to be 24 cosine I sine of 555 degrees. But I don't like 555 degrees. So we got to subtract off 360. I should have my calculator out from the start. Wasn't following my own rules. 555 minus 360 gives me 195. Yes? Okay. And then we need to square that. So then that would be 24 squared cosine I sine of 2 times 195 degrees. 2 times 195 is 390. 24 squared is 576. Do I like 390? No. So then this would be, oops. This would be 576 cosine I sine of 30 degrees. Agree with that? Just so that we can make sure, yes, we done did it right. Carlos doesn't get to yell at me for this. Find me the fourth roots of negative 81 minus 81i. Okay? First thing we got to do is what? Convert it to trig form, right? Okay? So if we're thinking about steps, first thing, trig form. Negative 81 minus 81i is going to have an r value of 81 square roots of 2. It's going to have a reference angle of 45 degrees. It's in quadrant 3, so it's going to have an actual angle of 225 degrees. Do we agree with that, or do you need time to calculate? A and B are the same, so therefore it's a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So legs are 81. Hypotenuse would be legs times the square root of 2. So my R value is 81 square root of 2. Tangent at 45 degrees, or tangent of 45 degrees is 1. 81 divided by 81 is 1. So therefore it's 45 degrees. Quadrant 3 puts it there. Okay? So this would be, then in trig form, we'll call it z sub 1, would be 81 square roots of 2 cosine I sine of 225 degrees. We need to take that to the 1/4 power, because we're taking the 4th root of it. Okay? So when we're taking the root, then we need to take the fraction power. So the 1 over whatever root we're taking is the power, and then we can demov that one. Okay? So this would be then 81 square roots of 2 to the 1/4 power cosine I sine of 1/4 times 225 degrees. Okay? The 4th root of 81 to the 1/2 power would be 3 times the 8th root of 2. And 225 divided by 4 is 56.25. Agree with me on that? Okay? So, if you wanted to be exact, you could say the first root would be 3 times the 8th root of 2 cosine I sine of 56.25 degrees. If you wanted to round, yep, that one would be 3.272. Oops, I ran into where I'm putting my steps. Go down here with it. Step 3 then is going to be 360 divided by the root that you're taking is going to be the angle difference. So in this case, it would be 360 divided by 4 is 90. So the angle difference is 90 degrees. So my next root would be 3.272 cosine I sine of 146.25 degrees. My third root would be 3.272 cosine I sine of 236.25 degrees. My last root would be 3.272 cosine I sine of 326.25 degrees. My next one would be 416.25 degrees. But to bring that one back into first lap, then that becomes my 56 degrees. Okay? You can fill out the rest. Questions, comments, concerns, clarifications on finding roots. With that being said, find me the 7 roots of that wonderful complex number.
I do know why.
I do want you to know that birthday girl did pick these numbers up, just so you know, the other day. Whoa, that's a big number.
Oh, really?
Ooh, it does simplify. 13 times the square root of 91,829. Love it. Love it.
Okay.
Inverse tangent. Was that a wait for me? JJ? Or? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So then we're in negative, positive. That's quadrant 2. So that's 180 minus. Alright, so x is going to equal 13 square roots of 91,829 cosine I sine of 169.543 degrees. and that's going to be taken to the 1/7 power. Okay? Okay? So, are you guys okay if I just go straight to rounding the R value?
That's what I got. Are you okay if we don't see that it can come out?
100%.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do.
So what's my,
What's up?
how'd you know that 13 could be pulled out?
I typed it in my calculator and I hit enter and my calculator said 13 couldn't be pulled out of it, 169 could be pulled out of it. Because I have a CAS calculator and it allows it. I just hit enter and it goes right to the exact. That's why. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Which is why mine's a CAS and yours aren't. Okay. So then this is going to be x. I got it stored as x. I'm taking x to the 1/7 power. Yes, and that's going to be 3. So my first one is going to be 3.263 cosine I sine of z divided by 7 is 24.220 degrees. Okay? Then 360, I chose 7 for a reason. Actually, the original one I had was 11. So, but I didn't want you to have to write this down 11 times. So then, I'm going to store that hopefully as, we'll pull that as z. We'll pull that as z now. Okay? All right, so then 360 divided by 7 is 51.429 degrees. Okay, so then my next one, come on, would be 3.263 cosine I sine of 75.649 degrees is my second one. My third one, 3.263 cosine I sine of 127.078 degrees. My fourth one, 3.263 cosine I sine of 178.506 degrees. My fifth one, 3.263 cosine I sine of 229.935 degrees. My next one is 3.263 cosine I sine of 281.363 degrees. And my last one is 3.263 cosine I sine of 332.792 degrees. And then if I went one more, I would be over. I'd be at 384.220 degrees, okay, which is over, so I subtract off 360, and it puts me at 24.220 degrees. Okay. Yay, buddy? Yeah, buddy. All right, so Just a reminder that next week, Tuesday, you will have pre-ACT day. So that is a day that you juniors and seniors aren't here. So we full on expect that the homework packet, because this is that 47, I believe, is the last homework problem, correct? 47 is the last homework problem. So we full on expect that on Wednesday, when you come to class, the first thing that we're going to do in class on Wednesday is we're going to take the formative. Because then we're going to correct the formative right away. Okay? And then after the formative, there's times for questions. I full on expect that you will have gone through that entire homework packet, and if you have questions, you ask them. Okay? All right? We have given you at least a mod every day in this unit to do homework. You may not have known it because you have been talking through most of that. Okay? You should be well into the upper 20s by now in your homework packet. Okay? All right? You should really, truthfully, you should be in the 30s already. Okay? All right? So utilize this time. Don't squander this time.